everybody, it's Miss Legg. Today we are talking about simplifying expressions, okay? So an expression is a math problem or a problem that has terms, variables, coefficients, it has distributive property and combining like terms, okay? So what that means is it's a really long problem with no equal sign. So an expression has no equal sign, but an equation does, okay? So when we are simplifying expressions, we are taking long expressions and we are shortening them so that it is less complicated and easier for us to solve a problem for, okay? Now, if you need to stop the video at any time, remember, pause it, take notes as you go, and then you can use those notes to help you solve problems on the classwork, okay? So take your time, pause it when you need to, and remember, if you have any questions at the end, you can reach out to your math teachers. Okay, so when we simplify expressions, okay, we're going to do two major steps. We're going to do two major steps. The first one is going to be apply distributive property, and the second one is going to be combine like terms, okay? So we're going to do those two things. So example number 1, 2r minus 10 times 2 plus 7r, okay? So distributive property first. Is there a parentheses? Is there anything to distribute? So for example, this is negative 10 in front, and we're going to distribute that negative 10 to everything inside of the parentheses. What that means is I'm going to say 10 times 2. 10 times 2 is 20, and a negative and a positive make a negative, okay? Then I'm going to say 10 times 7, okay? 10 times 7 is 70. And a negative and a positive make a negative. And don't forget, 10 times 7r is 70r. Now, notice I took it out of my parentheses. So when I distribute, the parentheses are no longer necessary, okay? Now, notice I did not use 2r yet, so all I'm going to do is bring it down. 2r. So I have 2r minus 20 minus 70r. So that was step 1. Step 2 is now going to be to combine like terms, okay? Like terms. A term is this whole thing right here. So there is 1, 2, 3 terms in this problem. For a term to be like or alike, it needs to have something in common. So for example, r and r. R is a variable, okay? So we want them to be in common. So I'm going to say 2r minus 70r. So you can do that in your calculator and you'll get negative 68r. Okay? So if it has a buddy, and I like to put it in a box, so I say 2r goes with negative 70r, and then we combine them and I put them minus 68r. Now, there is still one more term, okay? And even though this term doesn't have a variable, that's okay. We're still going to bring it down. So negative 68r minus 20, okay? Let's look at another example. Okay, 2 plus 9 times 7n minus 2, okay? So we're going to distribute first. So 9 gets distributed to 7n and to negative 2. So 9 times 7 is 63, and we're going to keep the n, okay? So, oops, an n. So 9 times 7n is 63n. And then 9 times negative 2, okay, is going to be 18. And a positive and a negative make a negative. And then I'm going to bring down anything I didn't use. So I have not changed this right here, so I'm going to bring it down. Okay? Okay, now we're going to combine like terms. So remember, there are 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. Okay? We're going to see if any of these terms have buddies. So for example, 2, or our constant here, has no variable. And we look through our problem, I say, okay, this one doesn't have a variable either. So I'm going to say 2 minus 18, and 2 minus 18 gives you negative 16, okay? And then I'm going to look at 63n. It does not have a buddy, so I'm going to bring it down. Now, this is important. So when we are adding or subtracting something, order does not matter. Okay, so this equation is the same exact thing as if I said 63 in minus 16. Okay, so notice the terms did not change. So it's still negative 16. It's still negative 16. It's still positive 63n. The terms did not change, just the order or the pattern was swapped. Okay? Okay. Let's look at one with decimals, okay? So, no, notice the distributive property is in front here. It does not matter. That is okay. Okay? So, we are still going to distribute first. Okay, so 7.5 times 1. You're probably going to need a calculator for this one, okay? 7.5 times 1 is 7.5. Then 7.5 times 8 gives you 6x. And these are all positive, so I put a plus sign. And then I have not touched this last term here, so I'm going to bring it down. Notice I brought down the negative sign. I brought down the 6.2. I did not change anything else besides the fact that it's on this row and now it's on the bottom one, okay? Okay, now we're going to combine like terms. So go through your problem. I'm going to say 7.5 is a constant. Are there any other constants? Yes, okay. So 7.5 minus 6.2 is 1.5, okay? And then I'm going to look at positive 6x, and positive 6x does not have a buddy, so I bring it down by itself, okay? So I went from having 3 terms now to 2 terms. Remember, if you when you have an expression, order doesn't matter as long as the terms stay the same. So this would be the exact same thing as if I said 6x plus 1.5. Now, the plus is because 1.5 is positive, okay? And notice I did not put a plus in the front because you don't need a plus in the front of a positive, okay? Okay, last example. This one's a little bit more difficult. Okay, this one has everybody's favorite thing, fractions, okay? We still have to distribute like normal, okay? So 2.5 times x, okay? 2.5 times x is going to be, 2/5 x, okay? Now, I got to do 2.5 times 2 4/8. Okay, so that's a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to write it on the side. So 2/5 times 2 4/8. When we solve fraction multiplication problems, okay, we want to have terms in improper form. So we don't want to leave this as 2 4/8. We want to switch it to make it improper. So 2/5 times, I'm going to do my spiral method, or I'm going to make it mad, or I'm going to do what's called times plus. I'm going to multiply and then add. So 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20/8. Okay, I'm going to see if I can cross simplify. So 2 and 8 will cancel to be 1 and 4. Okay, 5 and 25 will go into both of those. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So if I rewrite, I have 1/1 times 4/4, which gives you 4/4. And anything divided by itself is 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay? So I have 1 in my problem. So plus 1. Okay. This is going to be really important. Please, please, please do not forget to add plus 2x. Okay? Don't leave the plus 2x at the end here. Okay? We're not quite done. We still have to combine like terms. Okay? Combining like terms. So I'm going to say 2/5 x has a buddy. Okay? I know they are buddies because they are like terms. They both have an x at the end. Okay? And I'm going to add them. So 2 plus 2/5 is 2 and 2/5 x plus 1. I just bring it down. Remember, when we simplify expressions, these can be in any order, okay? So I could swap it, and I could just as easily say 1 plus 2 and 2/5 x, okay? Okay, like I said, I hope this video was helpful. Remember, if you need to go back and rewatch it, go for it. On your classwork today, you're going to have multiple attempts, okay? So if you miss something, Go back to that problem, figure out why you missed it, and then rework it, okay? If you need extra help, contact your math teacher. Okay, have a great day.